what a dunk there by Steph. Looking at the fact that Steph Curry was able to do that for his team. USA winning gold at the Olympics. Just to take you back, welcome you on this show. 360 Sport on Trust TV, Adeni G. Shafe. Well, for the fact that the team Nigeria did not perform to win any medal at the Olympics, life goes on. We continue to see how we can get our sports to that pedestal that we want. A lot of Nigerians have been reacting concerning that. And now we'll be looking at the sporting movements that has to do with Nigeria. International scene are happening around us. Right now, we'll be starting with the Paris Olympics. Minister of Sport Development, John Owa Eno, apologizes to Nigeria and also give explanations why we failed at the Olympics. But right now, Nigerians are not ready to hear those explanations. People are really angry for the fact that if you look at the amount of money spent, even though we know that that money might not even be enough, if it's actually been, if you want to consider how much countries are spending. Egypt spent 2 billion naira alone on taekwondo sport, and you can see how they are doing well. And we actually spent 12 billion naira on the entire team that traveled to the Olympics. Yes, we know they are underfunded, but still, a lot of Nigerians were expecting that we're going to win at least, even if it's a bronze medal, where countries like Uganda, Kenya, South Africa, even the refugee Olympic team, they were able to get medal at the Olympics. But right now, the Minister of Sport Development offers apology on Team Nigeria's performance. And now we have the usual suspect of sport, as I call him, in the studio here. Olawale Peter is here. Let's talk about this. For Team Nigeria, 2024 Olympics will be another very shambolic remembrance. Okay,
good morning, Adene. Thanks for having me.
First of all, you look sharp.
You look Olympic.
Olympic, no. Okay, I don't want to look Nigeria Olympic. I look at USA Olympic, right?
Okay, thanks so much. I appreciate that. Okay, I think we can't stop to re-emphasize the fact that we are not ready yet as a nation. And I don't really believe in the excuse that you are giving that the funding is not enough. We went with 86 contingent. And from this 86, we spent 85 million US dollars on each contingent. So that translates to 136 million naira per athlete, per individual. And we couldn't come back with anything.
Are we sure that money was actually allotted that way? Because it wasn't broken down that, okay, each athlete was spended on with this amount of money. They only said 12 billion released by the presidency.
Okay, now if you have 86 contingent that went for an event.
You are only dividing it by the figures.
I'm not only dividing it by the figures. Even if I divide it by figures, it still makes sense also. Because they have to pay for their flights, their accommodation, their outfits, and what have you. So that is how you can find the average. So we're talking about the average now. Then let's go to Jamaica. They spent average of $2,300 per athlete, and they came back with 6 medals. So what justification are you giving? Are you saying we have money more than Fiji? Do you know a country called Fiji?
Of course, Fiji Island.
Fiji Island, they had the Olympic, they came back with medal. Cape Verde, they came back with medal. From the 216 countries that participated in Olympics this year, it is only Nigeria that came last without any medal, and you are giving justification for that?
I'm not.
They don't have time to prepare, but they have time to spend 12 billion naira. Come on, we should just call a spade a spade. It's a total failure on the part of the Ministry of Sport and Development. I don't know what they are developing. It's very, very, very annoying with the abundance of talent that we have in this country. And we have a lot of Nigerians. Are you not? Did you watch this same Olympics that a Nigerian cyclist have to go and borrow bike? And you are saying we don't have enough money? No. In fact, there should be a thorough probe on what happened, on what they spent the money on. Yes, I agree with you. Sports is business, and you need money. You need to invest a lot of money in sport business. But the little that you have, what have you made? Which is like we are giving someone money to invest for you, and you are not getting return on investment. Since 1957 up to now, 67 years, we've only accounted for how many medals? 27 medals, 3 gold medals. But we have an individual, Michael Phelps of US. He has won how many medals? 28 medals, and out of these 28 medals, 23 are gold medals.
It means you have 20.
So that means you have an individual that has won medals more than a country. And we are talking about we don't have time, we don't have money. We shouldn't go that way.
Okay, at least that has been able to spur you into action. I actually did that. I have to find a way to make you talk. And that is what people want to hear.
With the economy and what we are going through in this country,
yes.
If you pump that 12 billion into the economy, it means a lot for us.
For the fact that...
You know that they are going to waste the money over there.
For the fact that the minister came up with the apologies, and we're looking at what are the reasons, what made Nigeria to fail. Okay, let's even delete the money released. Did we started well? Did we plan well? Okay, some countries now, as we speak, Los Angeles Olympics have started. They've started planning of how they will begin to run in the next 4 years. What are we going to do now? 4 years back, our team, Nigeria, did we start from day one that they finished the last Olympics? Now, another one is coming up. What do we do to get it right? 6 more. I still remember last time we were here, we were talking about how we always start late. Fire brigade approach into our system is not working because a lot of countries, as we speak right now, they've started preparing. They've already started planning of how the next Olympic will look like. Now we are talking about it. What are we going to do? After the whole noise, everybody will just relax again. And then we go back. Although the minister has been saying things will be different right now, but we've been talking concerning the performance of Team Nigeria. It was shambolic. We know Nigerians are not happy for the fact that no medal, not even a bronze medal, was won, where we have refugee Olympic team was able to win a medal, that is bronze medal. And a lot of small islands were able to do it. What happened to us? What went wrong? A lot of this, and Nigerians have been calling, so many open letters have been written to Mr. President concerning this, and also how we can turn things around concerning Nigerian sport. A lot of people has been making his own point concerning this too, because of the fact that yes, 12 billion was released. How did we spend it? What went wrong with the athlete? The entire athlete, not one was able to get medal. In fact, our biggest hope actually crashed out. Although according to Falilat Ogunkoya, who has been there before, as a racer, said to be ammunition lost out due to conservation of energy. Well, to her as an athlete, she will understand that better. But to Nigerians, no Nigerian wants to hear conservation. A lot of people are not happy for the fact that what really went wrong. It was so disastrous, very, very disastrous this time around. And you look at Team Nigeria at the Olympics, despite all that they tried to do to see how they would do well, really, it was getting harder each day. Day 11, day 10, day 5, day 6, day 13 till day 14, 15. All the athletes they kept trying to see how they will actually do well, but it never happened. Hope upon hope every day, but everything went awry and went south throughout the Olympics. What really went wrong? And we know Nigerians are, to some extent, some are attaching some spirituality that who do us like this.
No, nobody did us. We did ourselves.
Okay.
It's all about lack of preparation. We've said it time to that number on the show here that we are not prepared, we are not ready. What we do is fire brigade approach. It is when it is 2 weeks, the minister will come, I'm appealing, I'm applauding, I'm calling for support. And I said it 8 times to that number. That is not what we really need. Now, what do we need? Before Sunday Daddy left, I think there was a time he launched a roadmap for the sport. What has happened to that roadmap?
10 years master plan.
10 years master plan. What has happened to the 10 years master plan? Nobody has looked at it again. So that is the first problem that we have in this country. Government is continuity, irrespective of what is coming and who is coming in. So the first thing we need to do, we need to look at what they call PTP. Process, technology, and people. Now first we must design a project. A process that will usher in how we want our Olympic, not only Olympic, sport development program in Nigeria to go. The method, the short term, the medium, and the long term. How do you want to develop sports in this country? And that, all those are contained in the 10-year master plan by Sunday Dare. So we have to look at it again. We have to revisit it. We have to ask questions, what happens to that? That's number one. So once we've designed the process, we now have to look at the infrastructure technology. If you don't have the infrastructure available in this country, we can't do anything. How many games are we competing for in the Olympics? 12 or 13. From how many games? We have 1,436 medals available. 1,436 medals, but we couldn't get one. You see some sport activities, and you ask yourself, oh, so they do this in the Olympics? It's something that we can do also as an individual. So you must have the process in place, you must have the infrastructure with the technology in place before we start looking for the people. But what we do here is we start looking for the people without the process, without infrastructure. So that's where we are getting it wrong. Until we get it right now, okay, what we need to do is to do the PTP or PIP. So let's have the process in place.
Or the PPP. Anyway.
Let's have the process in place. After the process in place, then let's look at the infrastructure. The process will tell us we want to have an Olympic standard stadium or games village in all the six geopolitical zone. Where do we want to have it? So that will form part of the process.
But my biggest fear now is, even having all this, I noticed something. The maintenance culture of Nigeria is very low, it's very poor. Maintaining, or if you go to Moshood Abiola Stadium, you look at all the infrastructure, whatever facilities there, and most of them are moribund. They are not functioning. In fact, the firefighting vehicle there, in fact, that one can win Olympics. Because you look at how many years they've been parked there. But seriously, so we need to change the maintenance culture that we have, because if we cannot maintain even the one we have, building another set of game village or there, I'm not saying it's not good to have them, but the one we even have, we at least right now in Nigeria today, we know how many cities that we have stadium, that if it's up to date, those stadiums can actually host events. Be it the African Nations Cup, be it whatever. But right now, we can only boast of Uyo and maybe slightly add Abuja to it. It's so just too funny. Now look at CAF Confederation, CAF Interclub Competition that is coming up. Nigerian clubs are scrambling to see where they will use. Now we have not even been able to maintain the one we have on ground. If we go and build another one, I hope it's not mosquitoes and cockroaches that will be living there.
Okay, I think that it's for the government to decide. If you look at Egypt, if you look at South Africa, if you look at North African countries, how are they all running sport there? Is it the government that runs it 100%? No. You allow private partnership to come in and support it. In fact, some countries, they use the private sector to do corporate social responsibility by developing sports in their countries. We've seen that. We saw what happened during the Qatar World Cup when they are investigating the Issa Hayatou of the Blessed Memory and other people. We have someone from a particular country, we don't want to mention the name here, that he said the only thing I want you to do is to come to my country and build stadium. Then also whoever is going to build the stadium that you're going to use in Qatar, they'll build from my country. That is development. That is what we need to do. We've had people that have represented this country at CAF and FIFA. What have they brought to this country? So it's not only about the government, that the government are struggling to pay the minimum wage. No. So the government needs to really allow people to come and invest in it. Let people run it as a business, the way they are running it as a business in other developed countries. That is the only way forward. If you allow the government to continue to do it, they'll use it for politics, and without apology, they're going to use it for corruption. So that is what we need to really look into and find a way around it.
Well, we've been talking concerning Team Nigeria's performance at the Olympics that just concluded over there in France. And now, the race for 2028 Los Angeles Olympics, the one they call LA 2028 or LA 28 is coming up. According to the Minister of Sport, it starts now. And I just hope that that statement, that journey to Los Angeles 2024, that's the next topic anyway, as it actually started now.
That's Nigerian for you. Because of what happened, everybody is angry. And the fact that everybody is angry, he wants to use something to pacify us. He wants to use this, how will I call it, to work on our psyche. But that is not what we are looking at. That's not what we are talking about. We have already failed woefully. And then a country of over 220 million people, we went to Olympic to compete with about 236 countries. And you couldn't come back with just one medal. And then you won. And the next thing you are telling us, no, let's audit. If you don't know what happened, if you don't know the history, how do you want to move forward? Let's find out what happened during this Olympics.
Before we begin to talk about
Before you talk about the other one. That's the truth.
Yeah.
So is it a way to cover up of whatever happens at the just concluded Olympics? What about the one before? It's like back-to-back 0-0.
What about the Ophilis case? What about a lot of things? So what about I still remember the issue of attire, the kits and all that. They have issues.
So, I read an interview about one of the athletes, that was 4 years ago, that she has to wash her attire,
a kit
for the second event. Because the first round she won, she qualified for the second event before she was eliminated, because they gave her only one, and you are expecting her to compete in the material. So these are the things that we need to really investigate first. We don't need to throw everything inside the dustbin and say, oh, you are preparing for. And to start with, he was appointed as a minister, right, by Tinubu government. How sure are we that he will still be the minister in the next 3 years?
No, let's wait and see that one.
So that is why I said what we need to have in place is to have a process first, that whoever comes in
we'll continue
as
from
the sport minister will just continue. Not that everybody will be coming in with their own program, with their own process. You call good sport analysts that we have in the country, let them sit down, divine a very good road map for us out. We're talking about sport, we're not talking about Olympic alone. Because now this happened during the Olympics.
Yes, what about all the events?
Look at our World Cup qualifier. We are hanging. Up to now, we still don't have a coach.
And we are playing in September.
No, don't say September. If you say September, it's like we are playing 2-3 months ago. We are playing next month.
Oh my goodness.
So these are the things that we need to sit down and have a defined process that will be like a law, a constitution, governing, guiding, and protecting the sport in Nigeria. If you don't do that, I'm not taking any words for serious. I'm not going to take it serious this time around.
Well, telling the story of the Olympics as it is right now, it doesn't mean that we did not have our own time of shine at the Olympics. One team actually stood out, the D Tigress. D Tigress shone like million stars, even though they were ousted by USA in that quarterfinal game. But really, their coach, Rena Wakama, was actually voted by FIBA as the best coach of the tournament. Now, if you look at our story, President Bola Tinubu, Lauds, Rena Wakama as best coach of women's basketball at the Olympics, aside the fact that against all odds, the team fought.
Okay, and me as an individual, I measure results, not effort. That's the truth. However, we'll applaud her. She did very well. She's the only female basketball coach in this tournament. And this is the first time that any African basketball team will get to quarterfinal.
Male or female?
Male or female will get to quarterfinal. And if we watch the game between us and the US, we lost with our head high. It's like, I read a lot of things on social media before the match. Oh, it's going to be 120, 110. But if you look at the point difference,
it's 74.
It's 74. So that means we try, we're very close. So it's a very good one. She deserves what she's getting. And I also enjoy that we should continue from where we stop concerning her, because nobody gave her a chance before the competition. But here she is. She made us proud.
Seriously, Rena Wakama can continue to hold her heads high because of the fact that the Tigress under her, they've been able to achieve so many things there, being able to win the Afro basket and also getting to the Olympics, becoming the first team in the history of Africa to actually get to the quarterfinal at the Olympics. Congrats to her, Ezine Kalu, and also Promise Amukamara getting to be in the second list of players released by FIBA, and they are particularly there. Congrats to Rena Wakama there for getting that presidency laudable achievement there. Well, from there, let's look at sport generally. We've been talking about it, but according to a veteran sport journalist, Mumini Alao, who has said it all when it comes to covering sport, he says sport is underfunded in Nigeria. If you look at it in every sphere of sport, be it local sport, traditional, international, whatever sport you want to call it, according to him, sport is really underfunded in Nigeria. Something must be done to see how they can see sports sector as a viable sector that can turn things around for Nigeria to make a lot of revenue. A lot of other ministries or sector that they are spending money on, if they can spend half of it or quarter of it on sport, Nigeria will have the population to help us, and that will actually go along. We're going to Mumuni Alao.
Yes, I'm not here, not there. Yes, sport is actually underfunded in the country, but what we've spent on sport, what have you seen with it? Have you seen the results? Because before you can say, oh, okay, I want to increase my budget for sports, I have to see the desired results that the sport has given us. But I've not seen that desired result. That's number one. Then number two, for us to really compete with other countries in terms of funding, I will still say this, and I will repeat it over and over again. The government alone cannot do it. The government alone cannot do it, and the government they have to see sport as business. I recall last year during the election, on the show here, I said it, that all the presidential candidates then campaigning, none of them have told us this is what
I'm going to do
for sport in Nigeria, and that's a very vital aspect that we are neglecting, because sport also is part of economy. It's part of economy. Now just imagine if Premier League, for example, they are not existing in the UK. Do you know what the government will be losing?
Of course.
Or Serie A, or La Liga.
That's just football.
Bundesliga. I'm just talking about football alone. Let's talk about all other sports. So we are not giving sport the priority that is needed in this country, because the people we have at the ends of affairs, they are not the people that really understand the game of football. The game of sport. They see sport as what they use as political tools. That's the truth. But we need someone that will manage sport as a business. Someone that, when it comes in, the attention or the priority that we given to sport will really, really, really help the economy. For example, if you develop our local sport in this country, if you really develop it, most of these jerseys will be printed in this country. A lot of infrastructure will be put in place, and we need people to maintain those infrastructure.
Facility manager.
So that means we are going to provide employment via that avenue. Then if you have done very well also, we even see foreign investor coming into the country to come and invest in the sport development. We see a lot of partnership, people coming in to partner with the state, local or federal government in terms of sport. So that is why they really need to give it priority. I agree, it's underfunded. However, the one that will spend, like the 12 billion naira that we just finished spending. Okay, for example, if I'm the president today, I approve 12 billion for you to go to Olympics.
For me?
Yes.
Okay.
And you came back with nothing. And you are not asking me again that I should increase the funding. It doesn't make any sense.
What if I'm coming with some magic wand? So
there's no magic that will use to convince me that there's nothing
Nigerian
to show for it. So we really have to look at it very pursuit. However, the government really needs to allow people that understand sport, people that can turn sport into money, that can turn into revenue, that even the government, they'll just sit and they do nothing, but they get a tax, they get their own return on investment on the sport. Until we do that, we'll continue to lament like this.
Well, seriously, we just have to find a way to run around sports development in Nigeria from the grassroots to the top. We need to really see how sports can generate revenue and also make a lot of Nigerians out of those vices that could at least affect the society, and the society will be happy. And we remember that sports always unite all of us. No barrier of language, neither religion. Whenever it comes to Eagles or Falconers playing, all of us are one. And really, we need to use that particular opportunity to see how we can make Nigeria one. Now, away from that, let's go traditional now. You know that in Nigerian history, we've seen so many traditional sports. We eat dambe, we eat langa, a lot of traditional sport, ayo. All of them are traditional sport. But right now, a group of Nigerians organized a league called Dambe Warrior League, and now they've been able to meet with the Ministry of Arts, Culture, and Creative Economy to see how they can at least partner concerning the way they will promote Dambe sport. And really, Dambe Warriors League partners Ministry of Arts, Culture, and Creative Economy to promote Dambe. And Dambe is growing right now in Nigeria, seriously growing, and is going seriously moving when it comes to the way Nigerians are beginning to love this sport. According to them, they want to take it around 36 states of the country and also the FCT, and they will soon be seeing all this happening. That's a good one, talking about this particular sport of Dambe.
Yeah, it's a very good one, and the first thing they are doing is to create the awareness, and which they've already done. So by the time we have it now run in all the 36 states, including the FCT also, is to find a way to inculcate it into the youth game or the national sport festival that we are doing in the country. So that will even give it more attention, it will give it more visibility, so that other countries in Africa, they may look into it. Who knows, maybe we'll even be the one to introduce this particular sporting event to the Olympics. Because you have scouts that normally look at, okay, let's introduce this sport into the Olympic this year. So who knows? So I think it's a very good one, that we're not forgetting our own roots, we're not forgetting our own culture. We are not forgetting that we are Nigerians. So I think this is a very good development.
A good development there. Looking at the Dambi fighters, and you actually want to enjoy this, because imagine if this you get to the Olympics, Nigeria should be winning this.
Don't be surprised if they gets to the Olympics. We even started it. We will not even win any medals.
Although I know they do another one in Senegal thereabout. They're always so huge, so like giant and all that. But something must be done. And someone was saying, if you have added Scrabble, because right now in the world, we are the best in Scrabble right now. But Scrabble was not among the...
Even if Scrabble is among the...
They will still beat us.
So what's the possibility that we will? We have Amoson now.
And that was at least...
No, we have her also. She's a world record holder, 100 meters hurdles. What happens to her?
Something went wrong.
And then Faila Togukoya gave that English.
Conservation of energy.
I don't think that's what we did.
Seriously, we just have to get it right when it comes to sport development in Nigeria. We really need to go back and check what is wrong. If we really go back history, memory lane, you see that our sport are really dwindled when it comes to achievement internationally. From 2006 downward, we've been trying to see how we can get it up, not even forgetting the Super Eagles struggling every time to qualify or all that. But right now, something must be done concerning our sport. We need to see it as business. We need to see it as a sector that is really, really very important, not just a mere fitness-seeking kind of sector, but we just have to see sport as a very, very vital sector to develop in Nigeria. Well, we've been talking concerning that. Quickly, let's just dash to concerning the IHF. It's coming up in China, International Handball Federation Women's World Cup that'll be coming up in China. Shitu, Agbola Shitu is the name of the coach, releases final list as Nigeria under-18 team jets out to China. As we speak, they should be landing in China. They left Nigeria on Monday. And now, quickly, talking about this, our under-18 girls are really trying their best. Look at the list of those young girls who did us proud over there in Cote d'Ivoire. To let you know, they traveled by road to Cote d'Ivoire, both the male and female, but they were still able to make it. Well, and to also let you know that the Handball Federation of Nigeria are doing everything possible to see how this team got to China. According to them, they didn't get any support, so they just have to find their way and get these players to China. Goalkeeper Samuel Precious of Sokoto Rima, Babatunde Kehinde of Aspak Handball Club. Right wing, Onyekwere Lucy of Sokoto Rima, Ibenedion Blessing of Delta Force. Left wing, Muhammad Amina, Sokoto Rima, Okolo Joan of Delta Force. Wide right back, have Matthew Esther, Adija HBC, Busimba Chidera of Sokoto Rima. Wide Samuel Prudence, Babatunde Taiwo of Seasider Babes, of Paraugua Marachi of Imo Grasshoppers, actually the left backs. And centre back, have Bello Rahima of Sokoto Rima, Izoba Ijeoma of Ijeoma of Delta Force. Pivot, we have Akinla de Damilola from Rivers Queens, while the coach, Adeomi Agbola Shitu, we did that list there. They will be playing, let's look at the fixtures for our teams. They'll be playing against Croatia on Wednesday by 10 a.m. They'll be facing Montenegro on Thursday by 2 p.m. And Nigeria will be facing Angola on Saturday by 10 a.m. Talking about Nigeria under 18 women who are right now battle ready to see how they will do well in China.
Okay, this is another sporting event that is gaining ground in the country, and the handballs and the ladies, they've done very well. And if you look at their local league also, you can see how interesting the local league is. Then their qualifying series also, we saw what happened before going to Cote d'Ivoire and when they got to Cote d'Ivoire. So definitely they are going there for exposure, they are going there for experience, and they shouldn't put too much pressure on themselves. Whatever happens, we're already proud of them, and I'm sure they will come back with something. And I think other sports in this country, they are doing us very proud, and they are giving us the joy, but unfortunately, we're not giving them the recognition that they deserve. The only team, the only sport that we give recognition to in this country is football. If you talk about football, you have to go to men.
Super Eagles.
If you're talking about the men, you have to go to the Super Eagles. I think we are getting it wrong in that aspect. We need to change the mentality that anybody representing this country, anybody wearing that white, green to represent the country deserve to be recognized, deserve to be rewarded, and deserve to be supported also. So maybe if you do that, it will motivate a lot of these young ones also to do better than what they are really doing. So definitely, I'm sure they will go to China and they will do their best.
Now, seriously, we need to take other sports very important. Just this thing you just mentioned now, this particular analysis. If you look at Super Eagles at the Nations Cup, they came second, right? Now, the Tigers, they won the African Cup of Nations. That's what we can call it too.
Yes.
And they've done it four times in a row. 4 times. Not that they won it, they won it back to back 4 times. 4-peat in basketball terms. And now, when they won, I still remember, yes, they were hosted by the wife of the president for the fact that they were able to do it. If you check the recognition, the way they were received and all that, the amount of money given to them. I think Super Eagles were giving money, they said they would give them, is it land or houses?
Land, houses.
For coming second. And then you look at the Tigers for what they did. Look at the Olympics, look at what they did also. So it's high time that we begin to find a way not to make some athletes feel less important. Let's balance it. Yes, we know that the beautiful bride is football, but why don't we always try to see how we can at least encourage other men and women that are into different sports to be able to do it? If you check the English, the Spanish, all the countries that we are following to, even the USA, the way they will celebrate the basketball guys, that's the attention they give to Michael Phelps. That's the attention they give to Simo Bill, the gymnastics. All of them are equally important to the Americans, to the Croatians. But here is a different ballgame.
Because we're Nigerians.
Oh my goodness.
And we do things different ways. That's the truth. But until we change the narratives, we change the mentality, then those will start to. I've seen countries during this last
Olympics.
No, not the Olympics. The Women World Cup.
Okay.
They came out and protest that whatever allowance they are paying to their male counterparts.
I think US and Australia are there.
I know of the Australia, that whatever amount they are paying in terms of match bonus, match allowances, they are paying to their male counterpart. That is what they want to receive. And at the end of the day, they will receive the same amount. So there shouldn't be disparity. There shouldn't be animal farm theory when it comes to recognition. So it's like, I'm sorry to say this, it's like an Arsenal players requesting for the same reward that Man City players are getting. I'm just using that as an analogy.
Yeah, but you are trying to start up the nest now.
No. I'm not. No, they are the practical example.
Even though I'm wearing yellow, but I'm ready to turn red right now.
I'm just using this as an example.
Okay. Because like I said before, anytime you want to do that kind of example, why is it always Arsenal? Why don't you pick, like Crystal Palace now? Why not mention Everton? Why not mention Tottenham Hotspur?
Because they are the only one that is always coming.
What have they done to you? Somebody was asking, somebody actually commented, what has Arsenal got to do? Why is that man always very angry with Arsenal?
I'm not angry with them. They are our junior brothers.
Seriously?
And we want the best for them.
Junior brother?
Yeah, they are junior brothers, and we want the best for them. So I'm using that as an example because the last season, they came second. Season before, they came second. And I use it as an example that how would they now be asking for the same reward that Manchester City players got for coming first? Just like the example between the Tigers and the Super Eagles. The Super Eagles, they came second. The Tigers, they came first. So how come, if not we are Nigerians, that we now reward the Super Eagles that came second more than the Tigers? So that's why I said, okay, let's look for a very good example also.
That's why now you brought it.
That's why I brought that one, which I think any sport.
Okay, why didn't you use Italian Serie A? Why didn't you pick, who came first? Inter Milan. Okay, this.
Okay, I only watch Premier League.
Anyway, just bring some banter in the studio there. If you have been with us, been on the show, 360 Sport on Trust TV, we've been giving you, especially focusing on Nigerian sport, all those detailed moments in the world of sport, especially we always do here, document Nigerian story. Nigerian sport is very, very vital. We need to take it serious. We need to develop our sport, and we also go straight down to the grassroots level to see how we can get it right. Administrators, the athletes themselves, everyone just must be on deck to see how we can get Nigerian sport to that enviable height that it deserves. But right now, concerning Team Nigeria, the Olympics, a shambolic performance. Hopefully, in the next 4 years, our acts will actually get better. Funding, activities, infrastructures, welfare of athletes, and also time is very, very essential. How we get it right before 2028. Who knows? Maybe, as you remember, 1996 Atlanta Olympics favored Nigeria. Maybe this one will actually speak well to America.
Yeah, and it all depends on our preparation.
Okay.
It's not about history. It's not about what has happened in US before or Atlanta before. Let's go there and do the same thing. No.
Or maybe at least the spirit of Atlantis man actually gets
so the spirit of
LA.
other countries are sleeping.
This is Nigeria. Anyway, we've been at least throwing some banners to make the show very interesting for you viewers out there watching. And right now, well, when it comes to football, well, the news is actually knocking at the door. A lot of games, a lot of clubs rather, are right now playing pre-season matches all across the globe, both locally and internationally. And as we speak right now, a lot of methods, skills, new things are coming up, and also rules are being changed every day. And now we look at this particular one. Premier League, right now they came out, they announced new rules for 2024-2025 season, but we pick one out of it and we just look at it. Premier League announces this new rule. Let's look at the one they actually announced there. That has to do with a substitute. The Premier League new rule for 2024 substitution warm-up. The number of substitutes in a single match is 5 players, which started in the previous season. During warm-up, only 3 substitute players from each team are allowed to warm up at the same time. But from now on for this season, according to the Premier League, the number of substitutes allowed to warm up at the same time on the perimeter of the pitch during the match has gone up from 3 to 5 players per team. This to correspond with the fact that teams are able to make 5 substitutions.
Okay, and that's one thing about Premier League. No, don't let me say Premier League. The FA in totality, and they look at the event and they give it time to analyze before they will not decide. Now, when they introduced the 5 substitute, a lot of people were complaining that it's going to affect the free flow of the game, and it's going to delay the games, it's going to become boring. But they said no, we've analyzed this, let's go ahead. And you discover that most of the matches they played last season, you have 8 minutes, 10 minutes extra time, because any minute that you wasted thinking you are trying to will be added back. And they are also trying to check, to analyze that if most of the teams will use the 5 substitutes, or they only need 3 or 4. If that's the case, I'm very sure this season they will have reversed it back to 3. So that's why they allow, okay, let only 3 players be warming up at a time instead of bringing all the 5 that end up using. But now they've done it, they've analyzed it will work, that okay, the 5 substitutes that we introduced, most of the teams, I think they got about 78, or I can't get the actual figure, but about 78% or thereabout of clubs made use of their 5 substitutes in all the matches. So based on that, there's no need of keeping 2 people at the bench. Let everybody come up and warm up, because the possibility of using the 5 of you, so which is very interesting. So I think it's a very good one. It's a very good game, and let's see how it starts.
A new rule there, a good one for football. Well, for Premier League, they're trying to turn things around, trying to go more technical concerning their development of football there. But right now, Friday is the day. It's starting 16 August. Well, Manchester United, Fulham, that will be the big one, even though they lost against Manchester City. Yes, that reminds me. Man City, Manchester United, the Community Shield. How do you see that game? Improvement for Manchester United against Man City?
Improvement against which team?
Against the Sky Blue.
The Sky Blue. And if you look at the first 11 that played, is that the real Man City first team?
Where they borrow from? Where they take
No, they were not borrow. You see, I've seen a lot of Manchester United started behaving like Arsenal fan, saying, oh, we've improved, we've arrived, we improved on our matches from what we played last season. No, you have to look at the caliber of player that you played with. It was when they introduced the likes of Bernardo, the likes of, what's his name, KDB, that the game changed. And these are the people that really dominate the Man City. In fact, this season, you see a different Man City from the one that you've been seeing before. So to me, I've not seen any improved Manchester United, to be honest with you. And I can't use one game to judge that Man City are not up to task, or Manchester United. How many matches are they going to play? About 38 or 39 matches.
38 matches.
38 matches. So you now want to use success of a community shield to now judge that you've arrived. I think it's too early for them to do that, because I've not even seen them being very active in the transfer market. Manchester United have not been very, very active in the transfer market. Take it or leave it. So that means they are still going to depend on the likes of Anthony, Rashford, who again?
Everything hard.
So that means they should not jubilate. It is not that they've really arrived. I think what's his name? Pep Guardiola. He knows what he's doing. He didn't put in his first 11. If it is first 11 versus first 11, probably we won't be talking about this. And also,
if it's not be penalty shootout.
No, they don't get to penalty shootout. Definitely, they don't get to penalty shootout.
Anyway, from the way it is right now, I actually had a gift for you, but I forgot that gift.
I bring it out.
No. I saw a very funny clip somewhere. It was a truffle boy anyway. The boss, the 3-layer footballer. Oh, sorry. It was about Chelsea anyway.
Okay.
That boss, I'll bring it next week.
I know that will give you joy.
When I saw the boss, I said, this is good. This is a very good boss for Chelsea this season. And I saw the training, when they were doing training, so many people were on the pitch, and somebody now, about 20 players in a very small space. This is Chelsea for this season.
And it's like you've not seen the one that said, if you're looking for your child, just go to Chelsea.
Oh my goodness. A lot of things you'll be seeing on the internet concerning clubs. Well, always a troll one there, just to make it very interesting for fans, supporters of those clubs, to make it easy. Premier League is starting soon. Italia, Serie A, Spain, and also not forgetting our old MPFL starting hopefully August 31st. We just hope that everything will go well and our football will be back. We'll continue to give you more concerning all those stories there. Quickly, let's run through some transfer gossip here and there. Even though we heard that Saudi Pro League, they want Vinicius Junior. I was like, what they did for Osimhen last season, they want to do it for Vinicius Junior. What will happen? Is it that they are going to kidnap him away from Real Madrid and take him to Saudi Pro League?
Well, I don't know. The truth is everybody has a price.
No, I think they are doing this just to at least draw attention because they know that Vinicius will not leave.
Definitely, he's not going to leave Real Madrid for now, and then he's too young to even do that. And it's not about money; it's getting the money from Real Madrid. So what they want now is to either win the World Cup with the Brazilian team, or also to win the Ballon d'Or, and they can't do that if it goes to Saudi Pro League at this age. Like rightly said, it's more of a media propaganda. Let's draw more traffic.
At least now, everything was going down. Now people are like, Saudi Pro League.
So that's what I think happened.
They did that with Mbappe when they offer 1 billion euro thereabout. They did it for Victor Osimhen too when they offer. Maybe Osimhen should have gone to that Saudi.
Well, I think he took the right decision by not going to Saudi, but unfortunately, it's struggling right now. A lot of people have attributed it to what happened between him and Finidi George. That you don't bite the finger that fits you, and whatever happened between you and your coach, you don't go out there and start ranting. And this is not the first time. He did the same thing against Victor Ikpeba. We're talking about someone that have achieved what you have not achieved. So you don't need to allow the fame to get into you. You have to learn how to respect people that have done it. Because if I'm a coach, I'll look at what he has done. Well, that's very important also. Discipline means a lot. You have to, we're talking about the legend of football in Africa, not only in Nigeria. So you did the same thing about Victor Ikpeba when he criticized you about the last AFCON. Now, if you need to judge also, you are doing the same thing. Come on, I think it's totally uncalled for. I think he has learned his lesson. He should learn how to be calm. It's now a role model to a lot of people. No coach who wants to have a player like that in his team. That's the honest truth. Now,
looking at that particular props into that story of Victor Osimhen, but now we have Napoli, the same club where Osimhen plays trade right now. They have the table offers worth 25 million euros plus 5 million euros bonuses for Romelu Lukaku. Lukaku is coming. Conte is really dragging for this to get him from Chelsea to Napoli, and for Osimhen will be ousted there.
Okay, and the style of play for Lukaku suits far better in Serie A than in Premier League, and he has been with Conte before. They've played together. He knew what he did, what he delivered, because of the agility, because of his pace and his
bullish nature.
So that's why it's really going for him. Then as for Osimhen, there'll be a lot of clubs that will be coming for him. Chelsea also is part of the fourth striker that they shortlisted. That's why they've already rejected this 25 million plus 5 million verbal offer they made with Chelsea. Chelsea want to use that one to renegotiate further. Like, okay, you want us to give you Lukaku, give us Osimhen. Let's let it off. They want Osimhen to come on a loan. And Osimhen is like, no, I don't want a loan. What I want is I want a permanent.
I want to leave outrightly.
I want to leave outrightly. So those are the issues that between now and Friday, or between now and the close of the transfer window, a lot of things will really happen. Then the over-bloated Chelsea squad that you spoke about the other time, I'm sure a lot of them will go on loan. Right now, they have about 6 players that are already going on loan for now, and I'm sure between now and next week, others also will really go on loan. So a lot of things will happen. Even the Manchester United that you said that they are not really active, maybe they are being careful, because they know that we have clubs that they have money once you identify a player, and if you did not do it look at what happened to Liverpool. They have a long time that they have been looking out for, but yesterday he said, no, I'm not going again, because of a lot of controversial issues that came up during the sign-off of the agreement. So I think most of the clubs right now, they are trying to be very careful, and they are playing very, 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 very smart. Look at the amount of money that Atletico Madrid paid for Alvarez, almost 95 million. That's a lot of money. So that means if you want to release your good player, you have to really pay for it. So everybody's trying to be very, very careful.
Playing safe is this language of a transfer right now, because you just have to be careful how you spend the cash. Concerning Victor Osimhen and also Romelu Lukaku swapping, well, maybe let's see what's going to be happening. Lukaku offer there from Napoli, 25 plus another 5 million bonuses that will be entering there. Well, maybe he will be moving straight down to the Partenopes over there in the city of Naples. Maybe he'll be joining them. And then for Osimhen, something good will be happening. According to the news we are having, in the next few days, we'll be hearing good news concerning him moving away from Napoli. And now they're talking about another Nigerian who right now been able to get a place in Barnsley, Kelechi Wakali. You remember him? He used to be with Arsenal. He joins English League's one side, Barnsley FC, on a 3-year deal.
A good one. You start from somewhere. And what is important for him to do right now is to get enough playing time. Because as a player, once you have enough playing time, you'll be improving on week-to-week basis, and that will now catch the eyes of other clubs that, oh, let me bring you in. So I don't think it's a bad place for him to start from. Having been in Arsenal, he has had a lot of exposure, a lot of experience, and he has what he needs to really succeed where he is currently right now. So let's see what happens in the next 1 season or 2 seasons. Probably you see him coming back to Arsenal or coming back to Premier League to play with the big boys.
Yeah, for Kelechi Wakali, he really needs this, because his career has been a bit of, well, not too funny, but the way he started, when he broke out, man, the attention and everything just was going down. I still remember Chris Santos Macaulay's career, everything almost ended in Germany from different clubs, almost 7 clubs. On clubs that when you hear their, you can't even pronounce their name, because it's Lauds, aside that, maybe that's most popular after moving to Hamburg FC. So most footballers, when they move out, they move to a bigger club, and then they begin to dwindle. While some, they begin to move up. It's always very funny when you look at some players' career compared to others who actually moves well, while others begin to go down. Well, for the way it is right now, we've been with Olawale Peters in the studio talking about sports and also focusing on Nigerian sport development. He has actually been able to give us those analyses on the show. Well, as we speak, that right now, we do that some Nigerians are over there in China to represent us in Hamburg, our ladies.
Yeah, we wish them the best of luck, and we wish them to make us proud and to try and give us something to smile about. Maybe that will nullify what our Olympic teams have done to us. So that's all we can say for now.
Okay, at least that's a good one coming from a particular fan of an over-bloated team. What's the way to end the show there? Well, we've been with Olawale Peters and Amadeniyi Ajishafe. As we always tell you, that sport is business and fitness. Thanks for watching.